What's good, fam? Let me get straight to it. Drake right now, bruh, the situation is wilding, but I got some fresh insights that'll make y'all see why he's slipping hard in the rap game. And yeah, it ain't just me saying this. If you've been watching how this Iceman era started off, you know the vibe's been off from jump. I'm talking about a comeback so fake it's like watching a rerun that nobody asked for. But before we get deep, hit that like so the Drake stands can see this W coming through the gates. Dragging the truth ain't easy, and I gotta clout up the channel. For real? Now let me break down why this comeback is more lost than found. First off, the single he dropped, What Did I Miss, felt like a punchline from last year, not a comeback anthem. I'm not even fronting, the streaming numbers are straight up facts. The track pulled just about 2.8 million streams on day one. Sounds decent, right? Nah, fam, that's a major L when you side by side it with some Kendrick Lamar moves from this year. Kendrick been on his grind heavy, and his features ain't just holding it down, they're smashing it with 5 to 6 million streams easy. That ain't just a gap, that's a whole canyon. Kendrick hits with that emotion, those bars, and the vibe that makes you ride or die. Meanwhile, Drake's trying to convince y'all he's back. But the public, they ain't convinced. That dramatic rollout looked like a desperate clutch at relevance. Trust me, if you're really on Kendrick's wave, you know how deep this flex is. But yo, peep this. The Drake situation ain't just about numbers, it's also about the tea brewing behind the scenes. Drake been throwing shade left and right, targeting names like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, and Future, calling out folks he feels played him wrong. Now that's weird by itself, but wait until you hear how these big dogs responded. LeBron, man, the king didn't even respond with words. He hit back with the coldest clapback ever, liking a random post on socials. Simple, silent, power move. It's like LeBron was saying without even saying it, I'm above this petty mess. That move was the ultimate flex, making it clear he ain't checking for Drake's antics no more. That's heavy, fam. The irony's thick too. Drake beefing with LeBron over some petty drama. Bruh, LeBron been out here vibing, supporting artists, doing his thing without stirring the pot. Meanwhile, Drake acting like a grown man having a meltdown on the internet. And here's the kicker, LeBron's actually tight with Kendrick Lamar. Some say Kendrick drew inspiration from him. So this beef Drake sparked, it felt extra one-sided. Drake's locked in that cycle of drama, while LeBron's focused on basketball and family. That's a whole energy gap right there. Hold up, it ain't done. Future's out here keeping it 100 too. After Drake's reckless meltdown drop, Future posted, I'ma always choose being real over anything. No name drop, no direct reply, just shade that spoke louder than any beef track. Future's move confirmed what folks already peeped. No more loyalty between them. Drake's old beef with Metro Boomin still haunts the airwaves, and Future sticking to his guns means Drake's circle done shrunk big time. This ain't just some beef, it's a sign that his old alliances are falling apart. So why all this beef? Drake mad because the game flipped when Kendrick made his moves. Folks dropped sides, some didn't ride for Drake during the Kendrick saga, and that's sour fuel for a guy who's been grinding bitterly for over a year. This bitterness ain't just mental, it's manifesting across his work. The collaborations lately, weak. The canceled tours, L's all day, the flood of random songs, straight flops. It's like Drake's caught up in his own mess, trying to fill the gaps with noise instead of quality. And real talk, maybe if Drake just took a breather after all that beef cooled, sparing us this half-hearted comeback, the energy might have been different. But nah, it seems like he forgot what did I miss really means. He missed everything. The culture, the game evolving, the heads who moved past the drama, and most importantly, the marks he needed to hit to come back strong. He circled this downfall like a hawk, but all we see is a bunch of cringy attempts that nobody with a real ear can ride with. What's wild is that LeBron and Future aren't just ignoring the drama, they're showing that Drake's antics don't shake them. Drake's trying to make big noise, but for real, it sounds like an old man screaming at a wall. Everyone else, they busy watching Kendrick elevate the game to a whole other level while Drake flails with stale narratives that smell like desperation. Drake's caught up in a cycle he can't break. He ain't admitting what's really wrong. His fear of Kendrick, his slipping bars, and the way he's trying to stir petty drama with big names instead of hitting Kendrick or ASAP Rocky with real lyricism. It's clear now, this anger is more show than substance. Drake's performing rage for attention, not delivering the bars the culture needs. And what's even crazier, What Did I Miss feels like a sad attempt at turning chaos into a hit. But no matter how loud Drake yells, the reaction stays cold. And those he's dissing, calm as ever. Same tired games, same tired complaints. But yo, don't get it twisted. This story ain't over yet. What Drake does next could flip the script or bury him deeper. Stick around, we're about to chop up why this moment could be his biggest fail or his ultimate comeback play. Make sure you hit that like if you're vibing with this truth bomb. That's how we let the real ones know what's W and what's straight up L. Now drop a comment real quick while you're here. What you think about LeBron's passive clapback, Future's indirect shade, Is Drake still got that juice, or is he straight washed? And these streaming numbers, real flex or no? I'm ready for all the takes. Keep it 100 down below. If you made it this far, you already know the drill. Hit that subscribe so we keep building this community. I'm honestly grateful we just hit 100K, but we ain't stopping there. Stick around for the next video where we dive deeper into why What Did I Miss is more than just a flop. It's a sign of what's real in hip-hop right now. Let's keep this conversation flowing. Peace. Now, I ain't going front. When you look at the bigger picture, Drake's whole vibe right now reeks of a dude who's lost the plot, but too proud to admit it. We all seen artists evolve, right? But this ain't evolution. It's stagnation wrapped in theatrics. What's crazy is Drake could have taken all this heat, all this backlash, and flipped it into a moment to show real growth. But nah, he went the opposite way. Instead, he doubled down on petty shots, weak flexes, and lame comeback attempts that don't land. I want to talk about the way Drake's been handling his beef with Kendrick Lamar. It's been like watching a grown man throw tantrums instead of spitting bars. Kendrick, dude's been silent mostly, but still commanding respect with nonstop quality. Drake's out here posting cryptic tweets, taking shots in interviews, practically begging for attention, but not with the skill or finesse we used to respect. That's a huge L right there. Real kings don't need to shout loudest, they move the culture with every line. Drake shouting feels like he's hijacking the mic without having anything to say. And the fans, man, some are still ride or die, but a growing crowd is waking up and saying, this ain't it no more. Even his management and label teams gotta be nervous. You don't see labels pushing artists who lock into this kind of messy public meltdown without consequences. It's like Drake's his own worst enemy right now. The lackluster streaming numbers are just the tip of the iceberg. When contracts and endorsements start questioning your influence, that's when the real alarm bells go off. And for all the diehards who want to deny it, let's just say the ecosystem around Drake is shifting, and fast. Yo, before you say I'm just hating, let me hit you with some real talk about what could have helped Drake stay relevant and respected through all this chaos. First, he needed to take a proper break after that whole Kendrick drama exploded. Instead of rushing out a single that felt like a low energy throwaway, he should have crafted something that hits harder lyrically and emotionally. You know, remind the world why he was top of the game, not just with numbers, but with the culture and the feeling. Second, drop the petty shots at big names and focus on his actual strengths. Storytelling, melody, and nuanced bars. Drake ain't just a rapper, he's got that singer vibe. But right now, all that's coming through feels forced and clunky. The finesse is missing. We want moments like Marvin's Room or From Time, not old man trying to catch clout by stirring age-old drama. Real talk, when you're that far in the game, you gotta know when to fight and when to elevate. Drake's playing the wrong hand. Now here's where it really gets wild. Despite all this, we can't ignore the fact that Drake still wields insane influence. His fan base is loyal, and whatever new track he drops is gonna get millions of listens before we even blink. But influence ain't just numbers, it's respect, it's legacy. That legacy, bruh, it's on shaky ground right now because of these obvious distractions. It's like watching a king choke in overtime. And that's painful because once, nobody did it like Drake. He wasn't just about hits, he was changing the game. So what's next? This moment could go two ways. Drake either needs to come back with that classic fire or fade into the backdrop while a newer generation takes over. And fam, if he puts out another flop with more drama attached, it might be lights out for his credibility. But if he drops something genuine, something that cuts through the noise to the core, you might see a resurrection the game didn't expect. The streets, the culture, and even the haters would have to respect that kind of move. Speaking of moves, something tells me we ain't seen the last of him trying to pull off stunts to stay relevant. But all that does is prove the point. Drake's running out of W's fast. The public ain't buying the act no more. They want substance, not spectacle. And with Kendrick's continuous ascension, the spotlight's shining brighter over there while Drake's shadow grows dimmer. That contrast is wild and makes the whole situation messier. And yo, let me close on this. Sometimes the biggest W is knowing when to step back and regroup. It ain't weak to pause and reshape your narrative. In fact, that's how legends stick around longer. If Drake could take this L like a boss, learn, evolve, and drop heat that's not drama driven, that's the real comeback we all would respect. But right now, Drake trying to force relevance with petty beefs and half-baked tracks is acting like a man trying to relive youth instead of making moves befitting his status. So fam, what y'all think? Is Drake on his way out? Or can he switch lanes and flip this mess into a major comeback? And what about the culture? Are we watching a legend fade or reshuffle to rise again? I want to hear all your thoughts, no cap. Drop them in the comments and let's chop it up like we do. If you're feeling this conversation and want to see more takes like these, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. We're building something real here. No fluff, just facts and real talk. Appreciate every single one of y'all for rolling through and helping the channel blow up. Can't wait to keep this grind going. And before you bounce, peep the suggested video next. We're breaking down some of the biggest moves Kendrick Lamar made this year. Moves that are flipping the game and leaving guys like Drake in the dust. That's some real insight you don't want to miss if you're into hip-hop culture at all. Alright, that's all I got for today. Stay woke, stay real, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.